Hey everybody, this is Rob, Sigma 3 Survival School. We're doing kind of another bushcraft video, and today I wanted to talk to you about how to create what I've kind of coined the all-purpose spear. Everything that you do out here needs to have multiple uses. You know, your throwing stick, you know, is not only a throwing stick, it's your baton, it's how you work wood. I mean, you can even chop trees down with your knife with it. There's so many different uses for these tools that we create. So today I'm going to put together our all-purpose spear because the number one reason I like to have a spear is because, one, it's super simple to construct. You can literally throw one together in 30 minutes or less, and it is highly effective for nighttime spear hunting. Most of the small game that comes out during the night, and if you go out hunting during a full moon and you know your area pretty well, obviously you don't want to do this if you are in an area that you are afraid of getting lost in and getting separated from your camp and your gear and things like that. But you can stay close to your camp area, you know, within 1,000 yards, and there's going to be more than enough game just right there within that area. And you can take a spear and a throwing stick, and basically what you do is you just walk around in the woods. You know, you kind of wait till you hear a sound, and then you stalk towards that sound. Now, obviously, if you're in bear country or something like that, you need to be a little bit mindful. But here down in Arkansas, it's not an issue. So you wait for the animals to hear them, you stalk up to them, you get as close as you possibly can, and if you have a headlamp, it's best, because then you can take your headlamp and basically shine it in their eyes and kind of stun them for a second, and then you run up, spear them, and then whack them over the head with your throwing stick. So right now I'm going to go out and procure a good size, you know, spear shaft, which needs to be, you know, 6-7 feet long, and I'm going to start constructing the spear. So right now I'm just removing this bark, and it's not for aesthetic purposes. Since we chose a green log, it's tough to find a seasoned, standing, dead tree that's going to work perfectly for your spear. So a lot of the times you're going to have to go for green wood. This is going to help the drying process. So I'm going to remove the bark, and you can even save these shavings. They've got all kinds of tannic acid. You can use this for your camp hygiene purposes. Take these shavings, put them in a pot or a primitive clay pot, whatever you've got, and you can lightly boil these and pull tannins out of them, and you can wash your hot spots with a rag, and this stuff will clean you, so don't throw it away. So I'm going to remove the bark all the way to the top, and then we're going to start drying this out. You want your tools to have multiple uses. You don't want to have to carry a spear for fishing, and then you don't want to have to carry a spear for small game spearing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this end and turn this into a fish spear, and we're just going to quarter this out, basically just like we did in our bamboo fish spear video. And I'm going to quarter this into sections down to probably about right here, and then flare it out with sticks, and we'll come back and show you the finished product. Alright, so got our spear point done, and now we've got, we split the other end into 4 points, and we're going to make this into a hardwood fish spear. So the first thing you need to do is cut you a couple of, you know, pinky size or smaller sticks that you can jam down into here, and you're probably going to need to tie this off first so that it doesn't split out any farther. I just cut a temporary piece. Just tie this off with like an overhand so it doesn't split, and then we'll come back. Alright, so this is why we tie off this lashing right here, just to begin it, so that it doesn't split past this point. And then you're just going to take a piece of paracord or whatever kind of rope you got, make a bite, and you're just going to start coming around the bend here. Holding it tight with your fingers. cinch it up on occasion. Make sure it's tight. And then you're going to start your over and under. Over. Actually, I'm going to start the over on this one. Over. Under. Over. Under. You're just going to wrap that around a few times. And bring it back to this side, and this is why you leave this little loop. This is kind of constrictor lashing. So you pull that through, holding it tight, and then you come over here on this other side, and that cinches that down. Pull it tight. And then just do a couple of square knots right there on top of it. I like to wrap it twice for the base, just so that it doesn't come loose. Tie one and two. And then I'll trim these off and torch them with a lighter to kind of bond everything together. And you can go ahead and pull this lashing off now. And the next step is to start sharpening these points out. Alright, so we've got our all-purpose survival spear constructed. You've got a fish spear on one side and you've got a small game spear on the other with just a basic point on it. And this stuff is really great for nighttime spear hunting. When the full moon is out, animals are constantly on the move. And they really are kind of unaware, and you can sneak up really close to these animals, and if you've got a headlight, you know, you get within 10 yards of them, and then you hit them with the headlight and you run up on them and spear them, and then you've got your throwing stick also, and you take your throwing stick and you just baton them right over the top of the head, and you've got some meat on the table. Now this, like I said, this is a fantastic method. You know, these are my two first go-to tools as far as primitive is concerned. When I haven't had time to make a bow and some of these other primitive tools, these are the two that I'm going to start with. They're super simple to construct. I can throw these together in less than an hour. We fire harden both ends, so they're super, super strong. And I can catch fish and small game with this.
Holy shit.
This is what I was talking about, targets of opportunity.
That thing just spit something out. Pretty wild.
When you're out spear hunting, this would be easy game. These things are huge. This is why you should always have your throwing stick on you and your all-purpose spear that I was talking about. All I'd have to do is take the spear, stick it in there, skewer them one at a time, pull them out. Now this is the kind of stuff we do out here at Sigma 3 Survival School. You know, we're always out trying new things, you know, testing primitive skills, modern skills. We're not just about the primitive, the aboriginal techniques. We try to do the modern as well. But you got to be well versed. You got to be able to do both in case you don't have your equipment. So I've thought of one extra thing to add to the all-purpose spear. Usually I just have a point and then I've got my fish spear out here at the end. After seeing our little buzzards, it has given me the idea, why not add a noose? I can basically just take a little awl off a Swiss Army knife or a thin knife, maybe like a small case knife or something like that, and basically drill a hole all the way through this. And then I'm going to take some trot line or some paracord and make a loop on one side and wrap it all the way around, and once I get that done, I'll show it to you. Alright, I've got my hole drilled. Basically I just took an awl on a Swiss Army knife, which is for drilling holes, and drilled a little hole through there big enough to fit some paracord on, And then I just ran a double length of it through and tied a knot on one side. And basically you've got kind of a makeshift noose. You just pull it tight and it's going to cinch around their neck. And when you're not using this, you're basically just going to wrap it around your spear. Here's the finished product. You know, we went out yesterday and, you know, did a little bit of walking around with our spears and whatnot, and we ran into those baby buzzards, and, you know, we didn't kill them, but, you know, we definitely could have and brought those back. But it gave me the idea to add one more element to our spear here. You know, why not add a noose? Basically, I just took my awl, you know, drilled it through, added some paracord, and now I have a noose to where if I have the opportunity to take live game, I can do so. And, you know, between this and the throwing spear, these are the first two things I make before anything else. I can whip this together in less than an hour. It's really simple to construct. All I need is a little bit of cordage and my knife. And, you know, if I want to add this, I just, you know, I need an awl off my Swiss Army knife. And it's simple. And we can go out and do nighttime spear hunting, which is extremely effective during certain times of the year. I typically I like to do it in the winter. When the woods are easier to see in, and the animals are moving around collecting acorns, rustling around, things like that, and when there's a full moon, obviously. You know, if you don't have a headlamp, you've got to have a moon in order to be able to see where you're going and be able to get up on the animal in order to kill it. But, you know, once you do stalk up on the animal, it's as simple as, you know, rushing up on them, spearing them to the ground and pinning them just like you would a fish so that they can't get away, and then you take your throwing stick out of your belt loop and just pound them over the head and finish them. And this is just one of the things that we learn out here at our Advanced Standard course, and we teach a lot of different bushcraft and wilderness survival skills. And if you think you have what it takes to come out and survive, you know, come and check out some of our courses. You know, look at our website and see what fits for you. If you support what we're doing, please help support us by subscribing and drop any kind of commentary you think you might add. Thanks.